Mimi siwezi kuwa deputy president ati na hapa Meru rais hana support. It is not possible. It is not possible. If I
am... si two term. Nione kwa vitone, ishara ya vitone hapa nyumbani. Na hebu nisikie, kwa sababu kuna watu Nairobi wamekasirika ati candidate yao ni Kondo.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the politics of the year 2027 are starting to take shape, one man influence is dwindling as days go by. One man influence and say within the government that he is part of is currently dying, and he is currently in no place of making any negotiations. That man is none other than the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Abraham KITHURE Kindiki. Allow me to bring you into this story, because I have sat down looking at the current analytics, looking at the current political place in the Republic of Kenya, and I have come into one conclusion. William Ruto has actually declared and has actually come into an agreement that KITHURE Kindiki can be nowhere near him come the year 2027 in bringing any votes from the Mount Kenya region in William Ruto's ballot box. Why am I saying this? A few months ago, about 3 or 4 months ago, KITHURE Kindiki began an empowerment program, a movement that gave birth to a certain wave of development tours, and people started associating themselves with the government of President William Ruto through this movement that KITHURE Kindiki had started under the funding of the state. KITHURE Kindiki toured like about all the constituencies that we have in the Republic of Kenya. But with everything and the resources that were pumped into him, the main purpose that the development empowerment program was added over to KITHURE Kindiki is so that he could convince the people that he can actually, the government of William Ruto can actually work and deliver on its promises of empowering the hustlers kutoka down kwenda juu. But to the surprise of William Ruto, with all the amount of money pumped into this empowerment program led by KITHURE Kindiki, KITHURE Kindiki has no voice. He doesn't know how to convince people to fall in love with the current government of William Ruto. More so, the empowerment program were mostly to take place in the Mount Kenya region. And that's where KITHURE Kindiki camped for the last 3 months or so. But even with all the campings and all the mobilization, KITHURE Kindiki has not been able to convince even a tenth of the Mount Kenya people to actually believe that William Ruto deserves a second chance as the President of the Republic of Kenya come the year 2022. And here, William Ruto had to think, behold KITHURE Kindiki, because he saw that KITHURE Kindiki is not a politician. Every time Rigathi Gachagua took the mic, with one speech, he destroyed KITHURE Kindiki's empowerment program that he had done a whole week. So to actually see how William Ruto can win the 2027 general election, he had to come up with counter plans. And counter plans doesn't involve KITHURE Kindiki. And that is why I have said KITHURE Kindiki's influence is diddling. It is fading, and he has nothing to offer to William Ruto come the year 2027. Let me bring you to a question. We all knew that when KITHURE Kindiki began these empowerment programs, the people that were beside him, or the people that used to work with him to this empowerment program, are close allies to President William Ruto. People like the PA to the President, Farouk Kibet, the Member of Parliament of Kapseret, Oscar Sudi, the Senate Majority Leader, Aaron Cheruiyot, the Majority Leader in Parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, they were behind KITHURE Kindiki, trying to convince the people that actually William Ruto should be given a second chance. But through all this, KITHURE Kindiki only came up with one slogan, which was a slogan that actually diminished him even before the people of the Republic of Kenya. Mimi ni fire, see fire. Mimi ni moto, si moto. That is what KITHURE KINDIKI came out with from this empowerment program where billions of money had been pumped by William Ruto. Now, even the team that William Ruto had designated to KITHURE KINDIKI to help him popularize himself in the Mount Kenya region, to reclaim the place and even become to become a competitor of Rigathi Gachagua in the Mount Kenya region. All so that KITHURE KINDIKI can't match the enigma and the charisma of Rigathi Gachagua in the mountain. The moment Gachagua took the mic, KITHURE was done. Are we together? So when, recently, you have realized that people like Akina Farouk Kibet, people like Akina Oscar Sudi, Kimani Ichung'wah, Aaron Cheruiyot, stopped following KITHURE KINDIKI around, and they have shifted their attention to the Western region and the Luo Nyanza region, where they are now popularizing the government of William Ruto and calling for a second term of President William Ruto, doing their own empowerment program. Now, William Ruto knows that he can't win without the Mount Kenya region. He knows if the Mount Kenya region is united against him, he will lose the election come the year 2027. And so he goes ahead to do what? He pulls this stunt where now a new team called the Third Force Alliance has been born. And this team is sponsored by William Ruto, the team led by Gathoni Wamuchomba. This team has started doing development programs. The ones that KITHURE KINDIKI did are now under these people. Are we together? That means KITHURE KINDIKI has lost it to Akina Gathoni Wamuchomba, because Ruto believes that Akina Gathoni Wamuchomba actually have a chance in dividing the Mount Kenya region votes more than KITHURE KINDIKI had. And that is where also I tell you, because Ndidi Nyoro is William Ruto's project, and he is also a part of this Third Force Alliance, they will end up joining hands together with this team, and they will continue with the empowerment programs that were meant for KITHURE KINDIKI. KITHURE KINDIKI became so useless to William Ruto that William Ruto nowadays does not even designate jobs to KITHURE KINDIKI. KITHURE KINDIKI currently has started going back to holding some meetings at the deputy's residence in Karen. In the Luo Nyanza, there is somebody that you have seen so close to Farouk Kibet. And this is the person that William Ruto is actually thinking of having him as his running mate come the year 2027, because he has left the Mount Kenya divided, knowing that it won't vote as a bloc. That means he has a chance. So he has to now garner the votes of the Western region and also the Luo Nyanza region. Now, if you have all been watching Farouk Kibet lately, you will realize that Farouk Kibet has been doing this empowerment and touring the Luo Nyanza region with none other than the PS of Interior, Raymond Omolo. If you look at the dynamics of this politics, it tells you KITHURE KINDIKI is done and dusted by William Ruto, and he actually has no chance in becoming the running mate of President William Ruto come the year 2027. And that is why Akina Gathoni Wamuchomba have been brought in the picture. Let me ask you, where do you think Gathoni Wamuchomba gets 500,000 Kenyan shillings that she is actually donating in this empowerment program whenever she goes? Where do you think Akina Sifuna are raising 1 million Kenyan shillings to donate in the empowerment program that they are doing, calling themselves the Kenya Moja Alliance or the Third Force Alliance? Mtazamaji, inaitwa siasa, and the dirtiest player in the game always takes it all. And I tell you, William Ruto is one of the dirtiest players. And the other person that has been so dirty that William Ruto has been unable to match him is Rigathi Gachagua. And that is why he has started now infiltrating Rigathi Gachagua's team. I would love to know, what is your thought in regards to this analysis? Leave your comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about KITHURE KINDIKI's influence being countered by Rigathi Gachagua completely and losing it to Akina Gathoni Wamuchomba and Ndidi Nyoro. Achia maoni kwenye comment section. See you in our next video. Please don't you forget to subscribe. This is your #1 political analyst channel, the Kenyan Daily Report. Subscribe. Tungane katika video zetu zijazo.